Morning. We are gathered here today to commemorate the website that I had built as an online museum of my works. Today I'd like to walk you through what I built as a keepsake of my work of art, photography collections, and writings. I built this website during the same course that I built the website about labor unions in galleries, libraries, archives, and museums. This was my second website. It's a little bit more complex, this one, the one I built through WordPress. This one is built through a platform known as Omeka. Is that the right term? Platform? Anyway, yeah, publishing platform. Voila, that's what they call themselves. I built mine through Omeka Classic. There's also one for Omeka S. Technically, Omeka is a favorite among museums and things of that world. That's a quick scroll, sorry. Your eyes. Anyway, I'm not representing them. I'm representing my website I built through them. A work of progress to display my pieces. That's why I called it Co-PSs. My name is Curtis Owen. If you didn't know that, you get to learn all this about me today. Whose pieces of what? So this is what I use as kind of what many would see as a link tree in the past for everything I had done, whether it be, you know, work, a little bit about me, why I built this. I'll just quickly open all the links to see it, to show you, forgive me, everything that I included of mine here. Some of the links might work clunkily based on those websites permissions. For instance, this News Gazette website, if I'm familiar, or, they only allow like one article view per day. So I'm going to show you one of theirs. And just to be real meta or whatever, I'm going to show you my own web page, as in my own YouTube page. So through this, I link, and then let's say, if you wanted to go back to the home page after going through all these links about me and being, a bit of a stalker, go ahead. You can click chez moi, that's French for back home. My home, though, not your home. I built this place. Anyway, this was the website I had a video eulogy for earlier in the month of January. It's a quick scroll, but you can watch the other video about it. This is a website that I also built. It was for a different class, but it does use WordPress. Under further investigation, this is not going to go away at the end of January, but it will no longer be accessible or editable to me around the end of May, I think. This is a page, a researcher LibGuide I created for the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign about the presence of Afro-Canadians in Quebec. And this is a view of Montreal. And just ta-da, that's a little proof, y'all. Okay. I will have a video about this during February for Black History Month. While I was employed previously, I built some libguides for different topics over at this place. They removed my name from them, but I built these. Ta-da! You can go there if you want. I'm not in good terms with this previous employer, so let's get away. I got into trouble because of this topic that I was making content about in the library, a research library, right? Helping direct people to historical content. Name removed. If you ever need proof of erasure at Christian colleges from LGBT staff, just talk to me. This one I did about AI. The one I did about LGBT topics, I think they even closed down. Anyway, enough about that sour past moment. These are articles I wrote for a Central Illinois. They keep changing their website design. I get nervous. I'm gonna have to document these articles. I still have the proof of the original article. That's me. This is about gay marriage and gay adoption. This is something I'll talk about during February for Black History Month. This is about, well, I put my face up front. This is about the rise of MAGA America. This is my article I'll show you. See, one remaining that I did. It's a book review about Jamie Raskin's Unthinkable when I was living in Central Illinois. Bing! And here we are at my YouTube channel, but no, we're not staying here. So this is the front page. Obviously, one could click on each of these. You can click on the photo or the text. It's the same link. You can see in the bottom corner here, you can see the little link. It's the same one. This is just a link to an exhibit, and then the way that Omeka works, one could comment on the number of clicks required, but an exhibit would allow me, and you, if you had an Omeka, to like put text here that would, maybe introduce, right, an exhibit, and then they could click on the featured pieces of the exhibit, right? Here is my exhibit about a gay agenda, right? To play on the weird fears, I guess, the conservatives of America or maybe the world, I don't know, have about people like me. So these, one could click on them. That's me in drag with my best friend who has passed away, Ryan Harris, rest in power, and a friend that we would go out with. That was a New Year's Eve celebration. This was my apartment in Detroit. Here's my husband and I celebrating Punchki Day or Mardi Gras. It was like a week that had like Mardi Gras and Valentine's Day in the same week, I think, that year. And we weren't married yet. We were still dating only. This, if you can see what these are, you can tell. That's my, euphemizing my last name. And that's RCR initials, my husband's and my initials. You can see those are ring boxes and ta-da. So this was my gay agenda, right? Little timeline. They go in chronological order, if you didn't know. That's like part of the gimmick. I don't know, gimmick. And then each one you can go on its own page. Sorry, Dublin Core is a real big deal with museums and online archives. So I was practicing using it. It's kind of silly because, it's all photos that, you know, an art and things I've written. Some of them I have genuinely published, but the genuinely published pieces aren't here. Yeah, this was my last year at Northern Illinois University, I believe. I dyed my hair black, if you didn't know. And that it says photo was edited before all like the modern photo editing stuff. It was like you had to actually learn how to edit photos back then, y'all. And we, you know, changed the saturation or something selectively so that just the flag kept its color and the rest was just really, technically it's not black and white, it's just super low. I think the term is saturation, or maybe, okay, it's a while now, y'all. But anyway, and then maybe I turned up the saturation here so that it actually appears like this is black and white, but it's really just very low scale, very mild color. You just, it's the contrast that causes us to think, wow, the flag pops. And this is me. Those are people who, again, you know, their faces aren't showing. Privacy, right? Let's see my drag, y'all. Her name was Julia. And his name is Ryan. Just said rest in power. And that's Eden. Oh, this is a collection. Here we go. Of all of my art. I'm going to eventually make videos about each of these art pieces. So you can see like there's a blurb I wrote about each of them. This one might look familiar. I have a video about this one. But I'm going to get to these through another method. So, you know, we would go to the items. You can go in items, collection, like all the items within, let's say you can collect, you know, organize these items in various collections and then have exhibits of a said collection, and you can rotate those, which collections you're exhibiting. Get it like it's an online museum, that whole idea. Dream job would be to work at a museum, but I don't know at this point if museums will even exist in the future, although they just run by volunteers. Or anyway, this is the item view. These are all my art pieces. I will get into them. One moment. I also have featured here my writing samples. This is a writing sample. I'm going so fast. This is scroll. Could I even practice like citing? That's not my true last name legally, y'all. I want it to be Will Valo, the first four of my husband's last name, the first four of my last name. But I gotta get something published with that name, and it's like publishing takes money. Do you know that? Okay, I'm gonna go more slowly. This is how you would format the Dublin core for an online ebook chapter, right? Let's say you broke up an online ebook into chapters and were to dispense them to an audience maybe like once a month or so, right? Subscribers, right? That was something I was floating in my head of maybe sponsoring my own ebook publishing this way. Because again, it costs money, y'all. So this is that text. The first chapter of my first manuscript I ever wrote completely. And this is that version that's ready for public review and, you know, reading. This is something I wrote, kind of like an essay, I would say. You know, like people that pass for essayists, right? Well, when the whole big shenanigan was going on in America about like, I don't know, kids shouldn't be sexualized. I'm like, well, tell that to the adults that, you know, don't treat us correctly. We'll say it that way. Anyway, back to the website I built because I'll get to all these articles and things. This is the front page, so you can click on each of these. Exhibit, collection, item, right? You can arrange this front page differently as well. But as you can see, there's a structure here to allow you to feature different types of pieces. The collections I had were essays and poems of mine. That ebook I was talking about, I only have 2 chapters online because it wasn't getting much traction, so I wasn't going to give much out without much, you know. If it's here for free and people aren't even reading it, even leaving comments, then, I'm going to be a little more withholding. And this is all of my art, being silly in French. Parc je le parle, mais for you all, keep it English. So then you can go through each of these in their collection form. So then you can have each of these collections be one of the exhibits. Obviously, this is a different type of collection. I have not through here. So then these are different essays and poems I wrote. And yes, I do speak about a child's perspective a lot because I was a child that was harmed, and then I went on to be someone during my first part of my career to work with young people a lot, whether it was in education settings or whether it be in camp settings or whether it be in library settings, right? So then these are all the art. And then I'm going to go to them through the item view. And as I said, I will have at least one video per art piece. And it might not be a video by itself. It might be featured in like a video about a theme. That's why I'm trying to feature my art that way. Here are my different entries that, again, each of these will be made. I'll put videos together about, or I'll make available through other means. This ebook will still be made available eventually. Just I don't know how. I gotta get the money, y'all. This is a painting that you might see featured in maybe the background of my YouTube channel. I gave it to my father for a birthday gift, so I don't currently own it. I even give credit to those I frame it with, y'all. It is framed. As in, I don't possess it. Like, it's my father's, right? I'm not one of those people who give things and request it back. So that's it up close. You might see it in my YouTube banner or other places, like on my LinkedIn or something. And then this is another one that I will not be able to make a video directly because I gave this one away as a gift to my mother. Again, framed with that same frame shot. This is it unframed. It's framed in a frame that almost looks like it's made from like broken garden shed pieces or something, or aged garden shed pieces. This is watercolor. And there are lots of other paintings that I will feature, but those will not be as important as helping you see each art piece in its own. I do have photography here. Future video on this here channel. It'd be sad to see this website go, but I have plans to make something as a replacement. We'll get back to you on that one. In the meantime, peace and blessings.